What's good, all my trader homies? This is the video that turns all you small account traders into big ballers. This is the video that turns your 1998 Toyota Corolla into a Lambo. The video that turned Clark Kent into Superman. The video that turns your loose pocket change into a crisp $100 bill. All joking aside, we love trading penny stocks because of their volatility and their ability to put in huge moves and offer us gigantic returns. This is the top penny stocks to buy right now video. We release it every Sunday. I've been running the penny stock scans for the last few hours, and I found a few A+ setups that we should be looking at. So we're gonna break down these penny stocks from a technical perspective, as well as talk about a little bit of the fundamentals regarding these companies. We look at these stocks from a risk to reward ratio and only trade A+ setups. We are not bag holders. We trade these stocks, we get in, we get our profit, and we get out. We know our risk and we respect that risk, not pushing and not bag holding. If you're new to the channel, my name is Kevin. This is Touchdown Trades. We talk about the hottest stocks in the stock market every single day. We have a couple swing trading videos every week, as well as trading tutorials and live trading videos. So if that sounds like something you're into, consider subscribing down below. And like I said, I've been running the penny stock scan for the last few hours, and I've found 5 A+ setups. So let's jump into those. And this is the top penny stocks to buy right now, so stay tuned. What's good, trader homies? Today is the day we are going to be doing the top penny stocks of the week video. This video does take quite a bit of time in order for me to put together, and all I ask for in return is if at the end of the video you felt like you got something and you gained something from this video, just consider subscribing, and that's all I ask in return for offering my time and opinion on these penny stocks. Alright, so let's jump into these. The first one we're going to talk about is this CNDT. It made a huge move on Friday, and I typically don't like to swing trade the penny stocks that the day traders in the day trading chat rooms run up. But this one is different because we have such a clean chart and because of the size of the float. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth. But first, let's break down the chart and talk about this move it put in on Friday. We can see that it was trading around $2.30 or so before the move was put in. It reported better than expected earnings, and it broke over this 380 pivot. And it traded higher than that pretty much all day, and it also closed over the 200 EMA. So the chart is setting up nice on the daily. First, let's talk about what the company does a little bit. Alright, so here's an article talking about why the company ran up like 85% on Friday. They reported better than expected earnings, and that was the catalyst that sent this thing higher. So what they do is they basically help companies and government agencies process transactions and streamline their business processes. So they're basically like a technology automation company. So they have a float of almost 200 million shares, which we typically don't see this high of a float on a ticker that makes such a big move, right? Typically the lower float companies are the ones that put in the 100% moves, but with this CNDT, we got a nice move on Friday, and I really like the chart, and that's why this is going to be a top penny stock for next week. And also, it's a real company, right? They have sales of over almost $5 billion. So this is not your typical penny stock that has no product in market or is just going up on air, right? This is an actual company up on actual news. So we're going to look to trade it, and let's look at the chart and plot out this trade real quick. All right, so we have a very defined pivot here at this 380 level, and that is going to be our risk. If we can dive into a faster time frame, we'll find a better profit target. We can see that if we look at the 5-minute chart, this 380 level is going to be my risk starting next week, and I'm going to try to buy into that level. Any dip into that level, I'm going to be getting long into, and I'm going to look for this thing to break back over Friday's highs of $4.65 to take my first profit. I'll probably look for a $5 break to sell the rest, but this thing is offering just a nice risk to reward, and like I said, I typically don't like to trade the day when day traders come into the stock and run it up. I don't like to swing trade it. But this one's different because of the risk to reward ratio being so pristine, and this 380 level going to act as support as well as the 200 EMA. So just a lot of things going for this chart in this ticker CNDT. That's trade number 1. All right, guys, so ticker number 2 is going to be CAPR, Capricor Therapeutics. And what they do is they are a biotech company that is working on a Rona vaccine. So are they actually working on a Rona vaccine? I don't know, and I don't really care. The chart is setting up, and all it would take is a PR to come out to send this thing up 100% in just a single day. So I like the chart setup. It's offering a nice risk to reward ratio, and I want to be long, risking off a specific level, hoping that they come out with a PR or just the technical breakout happens. So let's dive into the chart and break this thing down. One of the reasons I like this thing so much is I think the overall market has kind of been in a euphoric, just overextended period where we've just been going up. And I think we're going to come back down to earth with fears of Rona. And I think any company related to vaccine is going to benefit when the market's kind of selling off as a whole. I think the Rona vaccine sector is going to rise as a whole. So this is one way we can get our feet wet with the vaccine sector in the penny stock world. So this CAPR is setting up nicely on the daily. We just broke down below this. We had a bull flag kind of forming where we had the flag formation with the lows right here. And we broke down through that flag, which is probably going to get rid of most retail traders, which is good for us. But we're breaking down right into a key level where we had support at the 585 level right there, and also another pivot right there. So we're breaking down into a valid level, and we can use that level to risk off of. Let me zoom in a little more. So we can use that 585 level to risk off of. We're currently trading about 650. So we're going to need to get about $2 out of this trade in order for it to be worth it. So we're going to risk off 585 right there is our risk. And we're going to shoot for our first profit target will be up here back at $8. And then we can scale out towards 9 and maybe even hold a little bit of the position towards $10. I really like this chart setup. I like it a lot because it broke through this pivot and right into support. So I think we should see a nice little bounce off that level back towards $9 or $10 per share. That's trade number 2. Ticker is CAPR. Alright guys, so before we get on to ticker number 3, do me one big favor and go ahead and give the like button the old touchdown trades judo jab in the eyes. I would appreciate that. Just give it the old judo chop, the like button for me. Alright, so ticker number 3 is going to be this EXK, and they are a precious metal mining company. They are a precious metal mining company that focuses on silver mines. And recently, I don't know if you guys are into like futures trading or commodities trading, but the metals have been going bonkers lately with gold and silver running up high, and this has benefited from that move in the precious metal commodity. All right, so my thesis on this trade is that this ticker EXK is going to run with gold or gold and silver, just precious metals in general. So we have the gold chart pulled up here, and we can see that this thing has been on a run lately. And Friday it pulled back, and we have this nice little volume pivot support. You can see right there, and we're pulling back into that level. So if next week we can hold this level, this $2,000 level on gold, and kind of consolidate above that level, this EXK, let's go back and take a look at it, should get some nice run up from the sympathy of the precious metal commodities. All right, so what are we going to do with this EXK? We are going to use this pivot as our risk. Okay, so I like this 380 pivot as my risk. We can see it kind of came back and tested it on Friday, but immediately came back up and sucked back up. So I like this thing. 380 as the risk, tight stop, and we're going to look for this thing to break over these prior highs up towards $5 per share. So we need the gold and silver commodities to make a run. I typically don't like to make a trade where you need multiple things to go right, but the risk to reward ratio is there on this EXK. So I think it's worth the shot, and we're looking at we're only risking less than 30 cents to make more than $1 or so. So it's a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So the trade is there. That is ticker number 3, EXK. All right, trader homies. Ticker number 4, VCNX. They are another biotech, and I like this ticker a lot because of one keyword in the company's business model, and that is this. Oh, go back. Wait a second here. Go back. There we go. And antibody. They are into antibodies and testing for antibodies. We all know what that means. All it would take is one PR in order to send this thing up 100, 200%. So not only do we have the catalyst, the Rona catalyst, at our back, pushing this thing higher, we also have a nice chart set up. So when I enter one of these penny stock swing trades, I'm not going to just take a trade based on a fundamental catalyst, such as hoping that the Rona will push this thing higher or that Rona stocks are heading higher. I will only take a trade if you have both the catalyst and the chart setting up. So you need two things in order for the trade to be valid in an A+ setup. And we got both those in this VCNX, as we got a nice catalyst with the antibodies and we got a nice catalyst with the chart setting up. So let's take a look at the chart here, and we can see we got a nice beautiful pivot here at like the 570 level. So we're going to use that 570 level as our risk, and it's a very defined level. If that level breaks, this thing's in trouble, but we can use it as our risk, and we're going to look for this thing to head higher, hold this 570, 565 level, and then break back over this pivot here. You have that gap. It's going to be hard for it to get over that like 730 level, so we're going to sell some before 730 at like 720 or so, and then we'll hold the rest for the 850 break and then even this prior high break. So I really like this VCNX. That's going to wrap up ticker number 4. All right, trader homies. So the 5th and final ticker of the top penny stocks video for the upcoming week is going to be this TLSA. No, not Tesla. TLSA. Tiziana Life Sciences is a biotech company, and guess what they are working on? You guessed it. We got the big old keyword right there, They are working on a Rona drug, and we also have the dual catalyst of the keyword waiting for the PR, getting long into a chart that on its own is a nice setup, right? The chart by itself is looking good. We have a nice risk to reward, but we also have the second catalyst of the Rona, okay? So any day they could come out with a PR saying that their drug is going to phase 2 trials and this thing just takes off like it did this day here when it went from like $6 to $12 in one day. So that's why I like these dual catalyst trades where you have multiple factors in your favor. We needed an edge in this market in order to make money, and I found this edge to be helpful in penny stock swing trading. Okay, so I think that once the market rolls over, these small cap penny stocks related to the Rona are just going to be, it's going to be a sector just taking off one after another, boom, 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 like wildfire. And I want to be long quite a few of them when that happens. So I like this TLSA. We got an obvious pivot, obvious support area right down here at the $5 level. That's pretty tight for a stop, so I probably won't set a hard stop on this one right at that $5 level. I'll probably use this more as like a 450 area, in that area as my stop, because I'm going to be looking for quite a bit on this trade. I'm going to look for this thing to break 7 before I take anything off, and then $7.50, $8 to take the rest of my profit. That is going to wrap up the fifth and final trade. That is TLSA, Tizayana. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Life Sciences. All right, guys, I appreciate the view. If you do me one favor, leave your favorite penny stock swing trades down in the comment section for the upcoming week. I like it when you guys post what you're looking at, and I like to check them out and see what is going on with y'all. So I appreciate the view. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet done so. I appreciate it. The channel is growing faster and quicker than I could have ever asked for. I appreciate all you guys, love all you guys, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.
Drop.